Okay, I cannot believe at this point that Adobe Illustrator does not have proper margins set up. Yeah, you probably have a pretty good workaround. You might have some quick keys and you might be able to do it fast, but can you do it this fast? I'm just gonna hit F6 and I'm gonna hit OK, and it's done across both artboards. Perfectly set up how I want. Everything else has the option to add margins in one way or another, visual guides from layout, safe zones, whatever. They've got a way to do it. Adobe Illustrator still doesn't have it. I don't know why, but that doesn't matter because I finally added it myself. It's a free script. It's crazy easy to install. It's easy to use. You do not have to have any kind of software experience. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to give it to you for free so that you can save tons of time moving forward. So let me show you how I would set up margins the old way, and let me show you how much better mine is. Now, of course, there's a number of ways to make these margins, and let me show you some of the common ways, and we're going to go really fast here. I'm going to talk fast, okay? So if I know that my artboard is 3.5 by 2 inches, what I might do is go minus 0.25 inches and then minus 0.25 inches. What you might do is just turn this into a stroke, change your stroke color to whatever it is that you want, and center it, and then you might copy and delete it and then paste it on another layer, and then you might hit lock. That might be one way to make a margin. Problem with this method is obviously A, it took too long, and B, if you do go to print, or even if you export this for the web, you need to remember to hide that layer every time. It's just a pain in the butt. Now, if we undo this, and instead of making a new layer, the other option would be to turn that into a guide. We can either go to View, Guides, Make Guides, or you could do the quick key, which is Command 5 or Control 5 on a PC. Then you essentially have to repeat the process for the other artboard or try and do them both at the same time. And that's assuming that you knew that workaround and you weren't just using your rulers, which is even more tedious and inaccurate. So now let me show you how to use my script. You would just go down to File, Scripts, and you could choose my script right here, and now it'll bring it up. It's by default set to all artboards so that it creates margins on all the artboards that you have in your document. If you don't want that, you can set it to active artboard, so it only adds it to the artboard that you currently have selected. For example, right now I only have the bottom one selected, so if I hit OK, you can see that it's making the margin only on the bottom artboard. Just going to undo that and go back to my script. With all artboards properly selected, now we can choose our units. There's pixels, points, millimeters, centimeters, and inches. What's also great about this is it's going to default to the unit that is being used in the current document. So I'm using inches, so it's going to default to inches. If you're using pixels, it'll default to pixels. Now we can control the top, bottom, left, and right. With this automatically selected, which the link is automatically on, I can either move my arrows up and down, or I can simply type in the size that I want, and all 4 sides will be equal. If I don't want them equal, I can just deselect this link over here, and now I can control each one individually. Again, if I do not want that, I can click them so they're all the same, type in my measurement in one, and it'll automatically default to all 4 sides. Then we can just click OK. Also, sit tight because later in the video, I'm going to show you how to set this up with one function key. So you don't have to go to File, Script, Select, just press the function key, it pops up automatically. It's really easy, but there is a trick if you've never done it before. Now, some of you may be wondering, why do you need guides? Well, they're great visual reminders of where you want to place things, and importantly, where not to place things so that you're not too close to the edge and risk something being cut off, especially if it's going to print. For example, if I zoom in on this business card, if I had my text this close to the edge of the artboard, I'm risking it getting cut off. So the margin is telling me, hey, you need to be at least this far in from your edge of your artboard to not risk it being cut off. Not only that, it's a great visual reminder of what looks good. So if I just go to View, Guides, clear them, I've actually set mine up to be just a little bit bigger because I want to make sure that I have a good, comfortable margin. So what you'd want to do is just make sure that your text and everything is snapping to that. And then you could, of course, move things over. And this gives you a good visual consistency to know that everything is fitting comfortably in those margins. It's just a great way to set up any artwork, whether it's for print or digital. Now, you might be wondering about install. You actually don't have to install a script. You can just go to File, Scripts, down to Other Script, and select your downloaded script wherever it may be. Then you can just hit Open and use it just like that. Now, of course, that's too slow. So a better way to do that. So I've already navigated to where my file is, which is right here. Now I'm going to open up my applications. I'm going to double click Adobe Illustrator. Do not select scripting. That's a trick. We're going to go to Presets, N_US, and then Scripts, or it might be UK or wherever you are. Then I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it in here. In this case, I'm replacing it because I already had one. And then on Mac, it will ask you for your password. So you're going to enter that in. And once you're done that, you'll have to restart Adobe Illustrator for it to show up. From then on, every time you open Adobe Illustrator, it'll automatically be there under File, Scripts, and then your script. Now, let me show you how to supercharge this by making an action. And if you've ever used an action before, it's not quite how you think. And if you've never used an action before, don't worry, it's really easy. don't be intimidated. We're just gonna go to Window, and we're going to go down to Actions. Now you can ignore all this for now. We're just gonna go down to Create New Action. From here, we're gonna name it Margins, and we can put it under any set that we have. So I've got some folders here. You can select, doesn't matter, whichever set you want. In my case, I'm gonna put it under John's Actions. Now we can select the function key. I'm gonna use F6 because I'm not using that currently. And you can also make it so that you need to use a Shift and Command. That just gives you more options. So you could have F6 to one, you could F6 Shift to another, Shift Command to another. Just gives you more options. I'm just gonna leave mine as F6. You can put a color on your action. I don't really find that useful. I never do it. So we click record. If you have done an action before, you would think you would just go to File, Scripts, select the script. But what happens is Adobe doesn't actually record menu options. So there's a workaround. Just gonna undo that. So this is still recording right now. So we're just gonna go over to this hamburger menu in my actions panel. This is 3 lines, and we're gonna go down to Insert Menu Item. The important thing here is that you type in the script exactly how it is written under File Scripts. In my case, it's Crusoe with a capital C, underscore, margins with a capital M, or margin, guides, S at the end, underscore V1 in this case. You might have a different version if I've updated it since. Now we're gonna click Find, and if you've typed it correctly, it will find it right here. Now, if it's not showing up here, you're gonna have to cancel out of this, go to File, Scripts, memorize or screenshot or write down the exact way that it is written. Since it's working, we're gonna click OK. That's it. To close this action, we just have to hit stop. And you never have to do that again. Illustrator will now save that action for you, just like it saved the script for you. From now on, there's none of that setup. It's all done. All your homework's over. Now you just get your dessert. You hit F6, boom, it's there. I hope you enjoyed this one. I think it's super useful. Yes, I get a little excited about dorky little tiny time savers. Like if I can shave off a couple seconds, I actually get pretty excited about that because I use guides in almost every document that I make. So if I'm shaving seconds off of every single thing I do, that adds up a lot over time and it just feels good. It feels like a good use of technology. So let me know if you think this script is cool, if you're gonna use it. The link is down below. It might be on Gumroad or whatever. It's just gonna be free. You can download it for free, use it. Let me know what you think of it. Hit me up on all social media at Crusoe Design Co. if you have any tips, any ideas on what I could do to improve it. Maybe I need to add like a little safe zone thing or a little cross in the middle or little lines like halfway, vertically, horizontally. Whatever ideas you think, let's think about it. Let's see if people actually want it and we'll add it into the script and keep letting people download it for free. That's it. We'll see you next time. Please do like, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. See you in the next one. Bye.